In her deepest recollection, she remembers a phantom that used to pick her up as if she were weightless. He would hold her in a zero-G embrace and tilt her axis, rocking back and forth. His deep voice, it would resonate as he calls her his princess and tells her she is the most beautiful girl in the world. His face, she can no longer see, but she remembers the prickly tickle of a 5 o'clock shadow against her cheek and the beard she gripped with the smallest of hands. But she's grown up now. No longer does she look under the bed for boogeymen or in closets for monsters. No longer does she look to a front door for a phantom apparition to appear. Take away gravity and let her pull his beard with the smallest of hands. No, she's come to grips with his absence. The few and far between thoughts of him now mnemonically merge with memories of waiting in lines with mommy for Section 8 and food stamps, waiting rooms in courthouses during child support cases and custody hearings. You see, Daddy only remains framed behind a picture of her and him that came out during weekend visitations, but since he doesn't come around anymore, the picture has been relegated to the back of the bottom shelf, covered in a cloak of dust, its image as cloudy as her memory. You see, Mama's subsequent boyfriends never bothered to try the father figure role. Some even tried her, so she figured, why bother? Fathers come a dime a dozen, or for moments of nothing, but give nothing in the end, so she won't pretend. Fuck a father. They're nothing more than men. X and Y chromosomes that just happen to spit sperm, that just happen to find their way to the fallopian. They bust with the best of intentions, but come to the conclusion it wasn't right, real, ready, or able to handle the coming responsibility, so after ejaculation, they eject themselves from the situation. Mama said this would happen, and Mama said that's what they do, and Mama has been telling baby girl this ever since she was 2, right after the last move. Men ain't no good, more like good for nothing was something she heard quite often. So baby girl remembers when she goes marching off to work. You see, she twerks at strip clubs, but she ain't no hoe. She just knows that adding accents of her classical dance training to her act allows her to attain the equivalent of a car payment every other hour. She makes moves, moving with elegance, strength, style, and raw power. I mean, hell, even other women stop to watch her. She makes moves, mastering the artistry of marketing. This moving mogul has now gone global. She books more trips than orbits, but when it comes to her relationship, she lay sick, couldn't see a good man standing in front of her, not even if she had LASIK. And then she took the trip to Vegas, booked for a bachelor party. She even brought her own pole. She captured the entire room just from her stroll, and she started her routine like so many times before. But when she got to the part where she says, "Do you like it, Daddy?" for the first time, she heard no. A late arrival now stepped to the floor. She couldn't place the face, but she knows she heard that voice before, and he wrapped her in his arms and covered with his coat, said in the deepest of voices, "Baby girl, I didn't know. Your mother said she couldn't have me, then I couldn't have you, and that's why you had to go. They told me to be patient, try and fight it through the courts. I mean, I won custody of you ever since you turned 4, but by then you and your mother was gone, and every day since I wish I would have did more." And then she felt it, the constriction of his embrace, and against her face, the familiar tickle of a 5 o'clock shadow. Instinctively, she reached out for his beard, and at the same time, the pain the last 20 years swelled and fell in a river of tears. You see, baby girl was lost, but now was found by what it was she was looking for. And yes, a single parent can raise a child, but sometimes our kids, they need more than child support from a check. They need guidance, and fathers are required to show our sons how to be real men and show our daughters how to find them.
If y'all ready, on deck we have Liz Priestley. If y'all ready to hear your next poet, let me hear you say yeah. Let me hear you say oh yeah. And please clap it up for Slim Troll.
White, adjective, passing, verb, combined. White passing is a term used to describe a person of color that society sees as white. See me. I get away with shit that I shouldn't have, and looked over when I should have been looked at. The thing about being white passing, it's a golden access card that doesn't work. Access to buildings with broken stairwells. White passing gives you the passage to the door, but not the room, so you're always right there, enough for the conversation to be mentioned, but not included. Enough to look approachable, yet intimidating. White enough to talk to the manager, but assume I'm not well managed, like my life's a mess and I got a background in maids, so I can just clean it up. Question, as a white passing, Hispanic American, am I an ally, survivor, victim, or problem? Answer, yes. At times I could be all of them. My suit allows me to fit in with everyone, but not fit in with anyone. Casper paper through walls. Whitewashing heritage for convenience, I've seen it depicted as the background, the support, the fetish, the bongos for a movie score that is not our own. Jam-pack a Honda of comedic relief, white chalk outlines of stereotypes. Accents do not grow solely on palm trees, but are mowed down faster than blades of grass grow. I'm told that I'm beautiful on some islands. Not because I am, but because my skin is fair. That is the unfair beauty standard attached to colored palettes, nailed on cribs. Talk about curses being sketched out before us. White tears being dropped on blueprints. Decades of internalized ideas that light is pure and dark is the depth of an ocean that we do not understand, as if waves do not create collisions of color needing each other. I'm considered privileged or peasant, depending on where I'm present. Extraño una vida que nunca conocí. Speaking Spanish can seem hostile if you don't understand it, even though English tongues have razors ready to split open decades of trauma like barbed wire used for cages. I pass as white, so fear strikes me at a different frequency than it does my family. It doesn't come knocking at my door and waits for me to get comfortable, to knock me down a few pegs, to take a few of my lives, to make sure I stay in my own lane so my voice is muffled just enough so you don't know which side I stand on, which flag I rock. I will still die, disappear, while hiding in plain sight as we always have. My face will pass by your news screen, but my name will fade its importance. I stand in the forefront until my background overshadows me. I'm Puerto Rican by blood, Dominican raised, Americanized like most by definition. My suit allows me to fit in with everyone, but not fit in with anyone. Adjective and verb combine, see me.
Y'all ready for the last poet coming on to the stage? Make some noise. And keep that motherfucking going. So we got Liz Poetry coming to the stage.
I was 8 years old the first time I made a friend in a civilian neighborhood. When I asked her where else she had lived, she responded, "I was born in this house." I have never lived in any house longer than 3 years. As a Navy brat, I was a constantly rotating moon following the tides of my father's career. I learned early how to walk from room to room of a house, whisper my favorite memories, and say goodbye forever. I became a girl in snakeskin, constantly shedding some old version of me, leaving desiccated bits strewn across 18 cities, 12 states, and 3 countries. How do you build a house out of crumbling skin? By 12, I had sobbed into too many showers after saying goodbye to too many friends. I became numb because I had to. I've left houses, friends, and lovers without a backwards glance. Romanticized the idea of staying, so I stayed in bad relationships. Turns out it was myself that I've left most often. I fled from house to house, carved notches of accomplishment into this body, and still always felt lost. I have tried to call this body home for 36 years with its spaghetti noodle thighs and eager eyes, always willing to be somebody else, not a body, but a body of water, taking the shape of whatever it is poured into this body that has not always been hospitable, this body that I have treated poorly, wished there was less of, wished didn't exist anymore. I became a snake in girl skin, peeling back the parts of me I didn't like into what was left was unrecognizable. Why are promises to myself the easiest ones to break? I tried to find home in a man, and I came up empty-handed. A house built from inflated ego just bleeds itself dry, and empty promises crumble as easily as dried snakeskin. The first time that I called this body home and meant it was in a tattoo artist's chair, still leaking blood into my underwear from the latest cervical biopsy, waiting to determine if I had brought cancer into this house, through one of my many bad choices, or one of the times my choice was taken from me. Another woman carved me into myself with a needle and a North Star so I could always find my way back. I marked, this body is mine. This bloody moon of a house has always been mine. And for better or worse, in cervical cancer or in health, I am finally ready to call it home.
Y'all, these poets poured it all out, man. They poured 3 rounds of fire. I mean, these poets are dope. I know them all personally. I'm good friends with them. They're amazing. All the poets tonight were amazing. So again, remember, I do want to remind y'all, tell your favorite poet that you appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Even if they didn't make it that fire. So, with that being said,
so drum roll, please. With a score of 29.3 and third place, getting this 150, we have D-Ron the Now, it's getting hot here. It's hot as hell. All right, let's go on to the second one. Dennis, would you do me the honor? Because you've been an amazing co-host, man.
oh, man, thank you so much. All right, y'all, coming in second place with a final round score of, I was looking at your sheet. Oh, my bad, damn. In our second place with a final round score of 29 points. Nope, that's the wrong person.
No, 29.6.
Okay, I'm great. 29.6, please clap it up for Slim Troll!
Hey, even Steve Harvey fucks up sometimes, so we gotta